Hello, 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 hello. It's
Hello,
Friday.
hello, hello,
Oh,
hello,
wait a minute.
hello.
One little
It's
thing.
Friday. Hello, hello.
Now we can start. Oh, too many buttons, too many buttons, too many levels, too many levels, too many phases. We gotta figure out an easier way of doing things. But in the meantime, hello, everybody. It's Friday. I'm so happy it's Friday. I don't even know why it's Friday. Welcome to the social media scene. I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sheer Social. And my illustrious co host, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I shall. Thank you very much, Alice. Once again, I'm back, and my name is Chatachi Egwu. I am a media professor, a filmmaker, a media maker. How about I just love media? And yes, it's Friday. I love weekends. I absolutely love them because I need them.
Yes, I like them too. Especially when you've got something to look forward to. Just got something exciting to look forward to. Not that I really do this time around. However, I'm gonna make something exciting happen this weekend. I don't know what that's gonna be yet. So for those of you that are new, the social media scene is where social media, television, and film and entertainment they all come together in one spot. If we were in LA or probably in New York or somewhere like in Florida, we might all meet up at the Starbucks, with our scripts and make like we were writing, or maybe not. Or yeah, but at any rate, this is the people like to perpetrate. But I'm really writing on this script. No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're writing your grocery list. You know, good and damn
You
well.
haven't gotten past fade in.
Thank you. The parentheticals in the middle with the character's name. That's all.
Exactly. So what we try to do here every week is keep you abreast of what's going on with social media, tied to what's also going on in entertainment. Because if you haven't noticed, the two are going hand in hand, like, I don't want to say peanut butter and jelly, but for lack of a better analogy right now, peanut butter and jelly.
Jollof and rice.
Well, for those of you who don't know what jollof is, I'm going to let, because I'm just a simple African American. So my
Simple. This is your
simple.
heritage.
It is my heritage. However, due to some historical facts that we won't talk about right now, I
Okay.
don't. I am not knowledgeable
Oh.
of what a jollof or who jollof is. So educate the people.
Okay, well, as to who, I don't even know if jollof is a who, what, when, or why. All I know is it's delicious. Jollof rice is a West African style rice that is not just like I could never. How people are like, oh, I would go over for dinner to somebody's house and they're like, oh, we're having rice. What's on it? Gravy. Gravy. Where's the jollof? Where's the tomato and all the flavor cooked into the gravy or butter? Yuck. So jollof rice has a bunch of things like tomatoes, tomato paste. You can use chicken or fish, or and it's just one. Think of African paella without the seafood and with primo flavor. Paella is tasty too, but gotta big up jollof. Don't know if
Okay.
that helped you, but
Well, for those of you that have an international culinary palate, yes, maybe, but I'm still I feel like I'm doing something if I'm having Jamaican food and I can say, may I have a ting, please?
oh, that's big time. That you know, I'm gonna have to make you some jollof one day. I will make you some jollof. I promise.
Okay. So at any rate, we digress because we're here not to talk about food, but talk about social media. Although technically it is breakfast for some people and it is lunchtime for other people. So whatever you're eating right about now, we're going to serve up some real social media news and trends right now, starting right now. So if you got up, was it Thursday morning, and you saw Save Twitter trending, like I did, and you read somebody's notification that made you think that for a hot second, just for a millisecond, that it might be true that Twitter was closing down, I got news for you. It's a lie and the truth ain't in it. Lies, 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 and more lies. Twitter is not going anywhere. So that hashtag save Twitter, you can trash that if you want to, because it doesn't necessarily need to be saved per se. Twitter is okay. It is all right.
This story just even hurts to talk about. We have to start to be a little more. Now, granted, I know not everyone is as social media savvy as you or I or some other people, but does it make sense? Just think for a minute. Before you go to perpetrate any crimes of rumor, think to yourself, does it make sense that a whole platform is shutting down with no recourse and nothing going on, that they're just leaving? Does that make any sense?
No, but we don't make sense. That's the thing. A lot of what we do,
I guess the hell not.
Doesn't make sense, and that's the sadder part of the situation. Because when you go through the hashtag save Twitter and you see people's responses to it, that's what's funny.
Wait, I didn't see. Could you share with us one of the responses?
Girl. Oh, I can't. But one of my favorite memes is I think it's a clip from maybe Top Model or somewhere where the girl began to cry. She's doing like the ugly cry.
Ugly cry.
And then she's told something, and then she's like, "Oh, never mind. I'm good."
Wow.
I'm good.
Wow.
It's one of my favorites. So that was my initial reaction, like with all the negative press that Twitter sometimes gets, and there's a part of me that thinks there's a group of people paid by some Facebook, group of people paid to report the demise of Twitter. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, but when there's so much negativity around. It's Twitter is dead. Twitter is going bye-bye. They're not making money. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, all right. Some of that might be true, but this kind of doomsday reporting that people are doing where Twitter is concerned, please stop. Stop. Just stop. It's here, and it's going to be here a very long time, we hope. So for those of you who heard a rumor, look at all these rumors.
Are we gonna get sued for that?
Right?
Maybe we should just sing it in our heads.
Yeah, okay. Don't sue us because it'll be a dress rehearsal. Because that's all. It'll be a dress rehearsal because you won't get any money at all.
Exactly.
But it is just a rumor. So any post that you see, anything that you see right now, talking about Twitter is dead. It is not. It's very much alive. Thank goodness.
Alive and well.
Alive.
That's my
favorite
platform, I think.
It is. It is my favorite platform. So that's why I was taking a little like, what's going on? Please, what's going? And the sadder part is it all started with some tweet out of Brazil, where somebody seemingly tweeted that Twitter was going to be kidnapped. Now, all things considered, I don't find that funny. But, that's just my sense of humor. However, somehow or the other, it started with somebody tweeting that Twitter itself was going to be kidnapped. Maybe it was tied to the Olympics or something or the other. And people took that and ran with it. And then Save Twitter began to trend. And next thing you know, you've got a frenzy of people talking about, oh no, Twitter is going to be gone. We will no longer be able to tweet our emotions. And then the other phase of it was somebody was saying that Twitter was closing down because of the bullying. And dear people, that was not true either. So none of it is true. I mean, technically, if a platform was going to shut down simply because of bullying, they should literally snatch Facebook off the internet.
Well, exactly. In fact, if you let me interject this, there actually Twitter has responded to, I don't know if you remember, but BuzzFeed, there was an article on BuzzFeed about Twitter and how they basically allowed the bullying and abuse to go on, that they're not good with that. So they have actually responded to that as being untrue.
Yeah. They may not, as in some instances, they may not respond as quickly as we would like, but they are not either just sitting on their hands.
Right, right. You know what? I think to the average person, at times it does seem like they are sitting on their hands. Like, I'll use the Leslie Jones example and how long it took for them to do anything about that. Granted, you have 310 billion users. I understand. Sorry, million, not billion, million users, and I understand how it's difficult to police and see what's what. But even after people send you saying, hey, this and this, it seems, and it's not just celebrities, it's like average citizens as well. And so it seems sometimes like the cries are falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, but at this point, I think Twitter is trying to catch up, or they're trying to do a better job, because once again, they don't want to see their demise either.
No.
And they're trying to attract more users. The last thing they want to do is put themselves in a position where people don't want to come to the platform at all because of other people's actions. That's the sadder part. Because of other people's mess, they don't want their business. At the end of the day, it is a business. They don't want their business messed up. So we shall move on to the next topic.
Let's move on.
Moving on. I gotta stop doing that. I have a habit of, if there is a song tied to a phrase, I have a tendency to sing it.
That's you.
Yeah, that's a me thing. Now, this is not Ellen. So Ellen has the budget and the broadcast rights to do all
exactly. We do not.
We do not. So I'm going to curtail that right now.
But you can feel free to make up another melody using whatever words you like.
That is not my strength right there.
Oh, well, okay.
Yes. So, speaking of Twitter moments. For those of you that have been watching or maybe engaging with some of the content, the Olympic content via Twitter moments, good news. If you've been wondering as a business or even as a person, I'd like to create one of these. I think I could create a great Twitter moment. Well, you will soon have a chance. Twitter moments currently are created by a team of people there at Twitter, and some publishing partners that they have. People who pay a lot of money, quote unquote,
basically,
in Twitter advertising and whatnot. And they right now generally are able to do Twitter moments, but they're going to roll it out slowly to to influencers. Basically, that means celebrities and big name people and things of that nature and other brands. Right. And then soon, and maybe like in a month or so, they will roll Twitter moments out to everybody. And so that's kind of hot, because then think about if you're doing an event, if you're doing a product launch, if you're just having quote unquote a moment that you want to share, and you've got different content, different tweets. Now, here's the thing. Twitter moments are user generated via tweets. At this point, it's not like you can create a Twitter moment, bring in a YouTube video. You can bring in a YouTube video as long as it is in a tweet. So so Twitter moments are basically content that's already on Twitter. So don't think that, you can just pull content from other platforms and things of that nature. No, this is meant to be Twitter centric. So you can follow a hashtag and find, different content. You can follow a keyword and get the different kinds of content that way to add to a Twitter moment. It reminds me kind of Storyfy to a degree, if anybody knows what Storyfy is. But it may put you in the mindset too of Instagram stories and or Snapchat stories. A little bit, a little reminiscent, just a little.
Look, this is not a surprise. Snapchat is hugely popular. Whenever you see one platform that does very well with a new aspect to the app, you're going to find copycats. It is what it is. That happens. So not necessarily in the same exact way, Instagram, but maybe Facebook, but maybe in different ways, and they're going to adjust it for their audience. The problem is, I still don't think that all these social platforms know exactly who their audience is. I don't think.
That's a shame, and that's a shame, and a travesty, because on one end they've got the big data that I mean, yeah, a lot of the big data is given to us in our analytics, and a lot of us don't even think to look at our analytics, which is a shame.
Right.
Hey, people, if you're a business and you never check your social media analytics, stop it, and stop it right now. Find out who's on your page, who's on your profile. The analytics are given to us free, and there's great data that you can mine from it. So
Absolutely.
where Twitter is concerned, I think Twitter has figured out we've got an audience, but we've got so many audiences within the bigger audience, and then we're trying to attract even new audiences on top of what we have already. So in that kind of instance as well, I don't know if making Twitter moments available to everybody is going to create the mad rush of new Twitter users. But
Right.
hey, it's something unique. It's a new way to create content. It's a new way of storytelling. Especially you can tell your business's story. It's Throwback Thursday. Think of all the different content you can create for a Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Or even if you're doing a product launch or you're revisiting a product launch. I mean, there's certain things. I mean, so many things you can do with Twitter moments. And when you create that Twitter moment too, it's shareable. So once it's created, you can put it in a tweet. And because that Twitter moment will have its own unique URL, you can still share it on Facebook if you so desire. You can still put it other places. And I dare say they may allow you to embed it into a blog post and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking of Twitter,
Yes.
before I talk, the Olympics is one thing that has been going on. Although, I'm not saying like right now, there's not a lot trending on the Olympics, but last night, Michael Phelps, Simone Biles, the young lady, you know who I'm talking about.
Manuel?
Manuel, right? What's her first name?
Simone. There's a lot of Simone. I get the Simone.
Yeah, there's another
confused.
Simone Manuel, right? Mm-hmm. So, right, she's the first African American to gain a gold medal in an individual African American woman to gain a gold medal in an individual event, and swimming at that. Who says black women don't swim?
See.
Okay. Anyway, challenges. That's why I love this. It challenges stereotypes all over. I'm loving this, and so also in terms of the Olympics, Gabby Douglas took to Twitter to apologize for not putting her hand over her heart during the playing of the national anthem. What was this, 2 days ago?
Yes.
Because apparently it's so important that the national anthem cannot play unless every American has their hand over their heart. Therefore, it messed it up. Now, here's my thing. I think it's completely fine if you stand at attention. A lot of people do that.
Yes.
And she was standing at attention. You don't always have to have it is not, please tell me where in the Constitution it is written. First of all, you don't even have to have an anthem. How about that? This is all just customary stuff. It is not a requirement. So who said, in what rule book, where in the Constitution is it written that you must put your hand over your heart? She was standing at attention. I think it's okay. Really? That's all you had to talk about? Sad waste of skin you are. So, she's apologized for that. She apologized not for not putting her hand over her heart, but for if she offended anybody by not doing it. She apologizes.
Okay. So yeah, that's a slippery slope. I could just.
Don't slide down.
I'm right on it. Can you see? I'm like a child at the top of the slide. Like, let me go. Let me go. Let me. I will resist.
Resist. Turn around. Walk away.
Wait.
Don't look behind you lest you turn into a pillar of salt. Keep walking. Keep walking.
Nope. Okay. Nope. But she apologized. So now, can she live? Can she live?
No, because it's still the question of her edges. Because people were still talking about her hair and her edges.
For anybody, now this I will give my 2 cents on.
Please
For
do.
anybody still talking about her edges, Gabby's edges, and the swimmer's edges, how about you and your edges find something else important to tweet about or to post on Facebook about? You know, because real women, when we're about something and we're trying to do something, our hair is not the first thing on our mind. So don't get it twisted, people. This is not about hair. I'm making history. You don't talk about Harriet Tubman and her edges, do you?
Wait, did you have to say No, you're absolutely right. Nobody says, yeah, she led them to freedom, but look at her edges.
Hello.
She needed a retouch. Nobody says that.
Hello.
Says
so as these women are making history making gold medals, they are setting trailblazers, you know, all the names that we're going to give them as they continue to get medals. How about you just find something else to focus on? How about focus on your edges? How about that?
But you know what? I think this is really a thing. Okay, there's hateration there. There's all sorts of things going on there. But, you know, it really is a thing that speaks to, you know, a lack of esteem in this person. Think about the fact that what have we been taught about edges and nappiness, that they're not a good thing. And so when you have somebody up there that quote unquote has what is not desirable, that for you speaks badly to all Black women. Never mind the fact that they both have bodies to die for. Never mind the fact that they are a demonstration that people of color, that African Americans do focus on health, do focus on wellness, do focus on fitness.
So
never mind all that.
Here's the thing. If their edges are bothering you, maybe you should check yourself.
Exactly.
Maybe you see something in that you don't like about yourself. And I'll tell you this, I am happy. You can check all of my edges. Look close.
Thank you.
Look close. I am happy to be nappy. Okay, so.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are not going to entertain that kind of foolishness.
No.
Here.
I have edges for days. In fact, I'm all edges.
Oh,
so,
yes. And my kitchen is probably not well kept either. So get over it.
Oh, well. On another note, this is happiness for me and myself and you. It's World Elephant Day.
Hey.
Yes.
I don't have an elephant nearby.
You know, all my elephants are like back there somewhere.
See, but now people are going to, why is it a hashtag for, you know, elephants?
Yeah, it's trending on Twitter. It's World Elephant Day.
So for those of you who may not understand as to why we get excited about elephants, no, we are not Republican. Well, she may be a Republican. I don't know what.
I am not.
Okay, okay. So
like
at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with politics. However, the organization to which we are both pledged can sometimes get very politically active. So in case you're wondering what we're talking about, we are talking about Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And one of the unofficial symbols of the organization happens to be elephants. So whenever we see elephants, we just like, oh, that's nice. I mean, then there's certain things, you know, the trunk has to be turned up, you know, don't. There's certain things, you know, all of that Black sorority stuff that we go through that, you know, other people are just like, I don't see the relevance. No, you would not.
And you don't have to either.
No.
You know, no, you don't need to necessarily.
No.
But know that it is part of American history as well. So it is very relevant. And yeah, so it's World Elephant Day and it's trending. And I saw that. I was like, yay, it's World Elephant Day.
Yeah, you got your 22?
You know what? I have like 40 something, because here's the thing. There are people who know me who don't even know I'm a Delta, but see elephants in my house will figure, oh, she just likes elephants. We'll just buy her elephants. So it has nothing to do with Delta Sigma Theta. They just think I like elephants, and which I do. And then they buy me a bunch. So I think I have like 30 something elephants, 40 something.
I stopped counting after I got my 22. It's just, then you start giving them away to other people. So after a while.
Exact.
Okay.
Exact.
So we digress just a little bit.
Yes. Tangent.
Okay. So for those of you who enjoy a little television and a little social media at the same time, and we're not talking about live tweeting here. I love live tweeting during my favorite shows. Anybody watching Greenleaf on Wednesday nights?
When I can catch it. Yes.
Yes, because it has been trending every week, at least in the top 5.
Awesome.
Every week. So what I am talking about now is, we just talked about last week NBC and Snapchat. Well, NBC is now making snap decisions. A little pun there. I thought that was cute. Okay,
that
so
is cute.
NBC, I know I had to pat my own self on the shoulder every now and then. So NBC is making snap decisions about their television programming. Now, notice this, people, especially for those of you who work in the entertainment game, because I know I got a lot of folk who I've worked with in the entertainment game. This is where television is going. NBC, new deal with Snapchat, and we thought the Olympics, stuff was going to be the end of it. Well, not so much. NBC is now going to create original content for Snapchat.
Very cool stuff.
And we're not talking about just taking a little clip from a show and repurposing it for Snapchat. Nope. We're talking about taking a show like The Voice. This is one of the first shows they're going to create original content for, specifically for Snapchat.
Yes. Yes.
That's going to be interesting to see. I'm really curious as to how people will engage with them in that kind of way, because I know people who love that show, watch it every week, know every detail about the show, who was on it, who won, who didn't win, everything. So I'm curious to see how the fans will, especially the younger fans, if that will really take off. But that's not all they're doing. They're also doing this with Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Fallon's show, and there's another one. Who am I missing? I'm missing one. Jimmy Fallon, Saturday Night Live, The Voice.
E-News? Well, they've already in E-News, right?
No. E-News is not on NBC, or is it? Oh, maybe
no, it's on it, but it's
and E-News
and E-News, right?
And E-News. So when you start thinking about how to repurpose or create original content, these are the shows that are probably some of the first. You know what? I haven't seen anybody else doing any content deals specifically with Snapchat yet.
No, they haven't.
So can we say NBC may very well be one of the first, if not the first, to do this kind of content deal with Snapchat? Would we be wrong in saying that?
No, I don't think we would be wrong. I think if there is, it's still under wraps and we don't know about it yet. But I think you're absolutely correct. And this is really the direction that television is moving. Like we were talking about yesterday, there's a move towards media. It's not going to be so much linear media and social media anymore, because we're in this age of convergence now where everything is converging together. Yep. So there is no separation. There is no mutual exclusivity between platforms now. So dare I say we're going to be seeing more of these types of deals in the future, because this is where the audience that they're trying to reach, i.e. millennials, this is where they live. That's where they're trying to be.
Exactly. So this is going to be interesting because, wait, somebody is already, before I get to who else is doing something unique with social media as far as a traditional television entity. Now, for those of you who do watch The Voice, I think this is going to, when are they going to debut this? It's called this, I don't even want to call it a show. What do I call it? A story? Snapchat stories? I don't even know what to call it, but whatever it is going to be called The Voice on Snapchat. The Voice.
That's original.
Stop it. The Voice. Stop it. The Voice on Snapchat, and you can see these September 8th. You can start seeing these September 8th.
September 8th.
So
okay.
that's, I don't exactly know when the fall season officially begins for television because everybody comes in at different times.
Different times in September. So
Yes. So September 8th will be the first time you can see this unique content for The Voice on Snapchat. And what they're going to do is, now here's the thing. They say it's original content, but the way they're doing it, you are producing the content. You can take your performance, create a performance, or record your performance, and they're going to have a website that you could upload it to, and the celebrity judges on the show will actually judge those performances. So isn't Alicia Keys on next season?
Yeah. Alicia Keys and Miley Cyrus are two new judges. Can you fix your face, please, Alice?
I'm sorry. Did you say something? I'm sorry.
I said, yeah, fix your face.
What's wrong with my face? Did my mole move? What?
It's still there.
All
But
of them?
all of them.
Because I got a couple of them on this grill of mine.
All of them are still there.
Okay.
But in any case, the two of them, I think they have some rotating seats because it seems like Adam Levine and Pharrell are the main. Wait, is what's his name?
I don't know.
The country singer. It's escaping me. I'm seeing him, but those seem to be the three stable seats, and then the other two seem to rotate. This is what I'm noticing. So the rotation has now landed on Alicia Keys and Miley Cyrus.
Miley, okay. All right, so so prepare if you are a singer, or real and imagined singers.
Real and imagined, because we need some comic relief for the preview.
Well, and not to mention, you can, you may not actually, what, I don't know what they'll do, because I suspect they may tie that into a way of auditioning people too, to actually be on a TV show.
I can see that.
That has not been written or said anywhere, but putting on the TV producer hat, it's just like, well, you know what? We can save on a travel budget. How about we just let them upload their performances, and then we can just have the celebrity judges judge what they see online, and then if we want them, we can invite them on the show.
Very smart.
Very
smart indeed. Very smart indeed.
Very smart. In case y'all didn't know, for those of you who do work in the entertainment game as actors, especially if you're just getting into the entertainment game, be prepared to audition via Skype, via Google Hangouts, and some other means. That is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a thing. Okay? So just be prepared. Have your sides ready, or do whatever it is you actors do. Have your cough drops. Do whatever it is you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I have some more news about Snapchat.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, this is not so nice news. So, Snapchat has been in a little bit of hot water before with their lenses, when there was a little bit of a backlash when the Bob Marley lens came out for Bob Marley's birthday.
I remember.
And you could actually swap faces so that you would be Bob Marley, but it had, you would have locks, and I don't know if there was marijuana anywhere around. I can't remember, but that was the thing. Now, it was actually officially sanctioned by the Bob Marley's estate, but there was still a little bit of buzz on social media about it.
Was the use of Bob Marley's name, or did they approve the final result? Because I'm on one end, it's like, well, look, we would like to create something with Bob Marley. Can we get your permission? They say yes. But did they have any say-so in the final product? That's like...
Good question. I don't know. I would like to think that I hope Snapchat had the good sense to show them the final result, because we're talking about a legend here. I don't know that that's the case, so I don't know if they just gave the okay and did not see the final result, or if they okayed the final result.
Yeah.
So this is nothing. This next piece of controversy is nothing new to Snapchat, because now they're in hot water because they have because it's gone, an anime styled lens that would and so remember, a lens is
It's an
like a filter, but it actually goes over your face and it
overlay,
moves with you.
right?
It's an overlay, right? And it uses that facial recognition so that it moves with you and looks natural. So it was anime inspired. However, what happens is it gave you like closed eyes and bigger front teeth, which was exactly like quote unquote yellow face, the yellow face stereotypical memes. Now, if you ask me, anime doesn't really look like that all the time. If you notice, they have the very large eyes. Why couldn't you do that if you were trying to make a tribute to anime? Why did you have to take it to yellow face? So, of course, people took to Twitter and took to other social media and were none too happy, basically tweeting out like, way to use yellow face, etc. What's next? Blackface? Yeah, they said that. So yeah, they were a little bit of hot water. However, Snapchat said that that was not what they meant. That it was inspired by anime. Here's my problem again. You in 2016 do not get a pass from me. If you do enough research and you see, why aren't you researching to see these things? This would have popped up automatically, even if you can claim, well, I didn't know. That's not excusable. I'm sorry, you don't get a pass from me. So these companies continue to make these mistakes that alienate people. Who the hell do you think your customers are? Never mind that it's free. Nothing is really free because now we're seeing ads in between our Snapchat stories.
Yep.
So you've got our time, so it's not free. So why are you making these mistakes when you have customers that these could be? In fact, you have no excuse. So Snapchat, shame on you.
Snapchat, whatever the platform is. Technically, all you got to do is hire some people who kind of don't look like you, don't have a same background as you, or same cultural heritage as you, because these mistakes are just a mirror of what's really going on in that office where the decisions are being made.
Exactly.
That's what it really comes down to, because I guarantee you, had you passed that image by somebody who was probably, maybe somebody who had a little age on them and said, does this offend you? A little focus group conversation. I know we don't have time for all of that. We don't have time. Such and such said it was cool, and so they approved it, so we run with it. Okay, and now you're gonna run back with it.
In the race to be first, you make so many mistakes. And these are costly ones.
These are costly. Well, and at the end of the day, they don't. It's such an easy thing to fix. You didn't think, well, maybe we should call somebody who might be Asian. I mean, you may not have one on speed dial, but damn.
well, no. Why should I call? Because if what's his name from The Bourne Identity can play an Asian in Zhang Yimou's new movie, it's okay for me to. We won't talk about that. That's a whole other thing. But Oh, so but as we're saying this, let me just say hello to all the people that are joining us. We have Kimberly Maya. We've got Thaddeus Jones. Hey, I know your internet is going in and out, but thanks. Zedric Keith Bembry, who is with Live in Color Dance Collective. He's an awesome dancer. Thank you for joining us. And Kimberly said, the one I forgot, Blake Shelton. It's Blake Shelton. From, I was trying to remember. I'm like,
Sheldon or Shelton?
Shelton.
Okay.
Blake Shelton. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Shout out to everybody watching that we know and that we don't know out in.
Because we got lots of lurkers. I see y'all. So hello to the lurkers. Hey.
Exactly.
Continue to lurk. I have not a problem. If you feel confident enough to comment, that's great. Share. Do what lurkers do. But more importantly, when you continue lurking, when we hit goodbye on this thing, please share.
Absolutely. Lurk, but share.
Lurk, but share. Yes.
Yes. Fantastic.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to Facebook. Facebook. Remember, we just talked about where there's going to be a very little division between traditional TV and social. Hey, social media TV. You know what? I think
They're
that
calling it social TV, I think.
well, we've got the hashtag social TV, but generally that's more around doing live tweeting and the engagement that you have around a televised event. But right now, we might as well call it all social TV because the social and the TV are so, as you say, they're converging all into one place here.
Correct.
And with Facebook Live, we've been saying since we started, Facebook Live has opened up so many opportunities to media publishers, especially for those who work in television. So you've got your networks, and even, you know what, even if you were a news publication that kind of does video on the side to complement what you do, technically, even those individuals are taking to Facebook Live to create content. So, drum roll, please. In the coming months, and we're not even talking about next year, like in the fall, we're talking about really, really soon. We already have E! News doing a show through Facebook Live. Now we've got 4 other shows coming to Facebook Live, all of which are centered around entertainment to a degree, all of which are kind of connected a little bit to E! News. So that's technically 5 shows all coming to Facebook Live. When I tell you people, this is the future and the very present of things happening in entertainment, trust me when I tell you this. If you are not paying attention as a TV producer, if you are not paying attention to this, I dare say you'll be pushed, to the side. I'm sorry, but we don't want to renew your contract this year. We're going with the social media producer. You're a great TV producer, but we really want to do something new and engage new audiences. And we really need someone who really has really has a great understanding of how the whole social media thing fits in. Now, y'all know that's a real conversation. Not that I've had it, but that's a real conversation.
Oh, and you will never have it because you are on your game. You know what's going on. No, well, I'm just saying there are so many people that are stuck on what they do traditionally and refuse to learn new ways or think somebody else will help them do it when it comes time. No, you've got to know. So that's why that will never be a conversation you have.
Well, no. But it's conversation that needs to be had with more traditional TV producers who are just still in that, like you said, in that old school kind of mindset of doing things. So the 5 shows, we already have E! News, and they do that. They started that back in, was it March?
Yep, E! News started in March on Facebook Live.
And their show is they do it is it every day or every week they do that show?
I think it's every day.
Okay,
it's a short segment they do every day.
Okay, so starting next Monday. Next Monday, what's the date for next Monday? Was it the 15th, 16th? 15th or the 16th?
Should be the 15th. Next Monday is the 15th.
So next Monday, E! is launching, I think, the first of their shows at 4 o'clock. So for those on the East Coast, at 7 o'clock. Okay? So they already have the Live from E! That's the show that they have on now. Live from E! The other shows are TV Therapy. That'll be on Mondays. Weekly show. Basically, that's going to highlight, the things that are happening or popping in television. All right. So then we've got So True, So False. That starts August 16th. That'll be a pop culture series.
And that's already a segment that they do on E! News. They're just pulling it out.
All right. And then we've got State Your Case. That's a show that's going to be about that'll have debates on it. And then they've got a thing called Another 15 Minutes, which will be like a viral video show.
Very cool. Very cool. Like you said, that is the future. What is going to be interesting to see is how all of these traditional media outlets handle interactive television, because from what we've been seeing, they've not necessarily been doing that very well. They've either just been repurposing what they use on linear TV and plopping it on a Facebook Live or a Periscope, or sitting the camera and having their conversations, which is fine. It's good to have those types of things too. But the purpose of live streaming is interaction. And right now, the big companies are just not doing it well. So it's going to be interesting to see what e-news and subsequent media outlets do with social TV.
It's going to be interesting too, because which this just popped into my mind. Nielsen has created a new way of measuring social content.
Yes, I've heard about this.
So I'm wondering how with these 5 shows, because just like with any show, the old school Nielsen would tell you, look, people are not watching this. Are you really going to continue to spend money on a show that nobody's watching? So it used to be they would allow a show to gain an audience. Now they'll cut your show off before you can cash that first check.
Yes.
So
ruthless.
Ruthless indeed. So it'll be interesting to see, or even to find out how they are going to measure the success of these shows via Facebook. I mean, 'cause since all the shows are on Facebook, how they're going to measure the engagement, how are they going to measure the success of these shows? Because it appears it's not about creating this content for Facebook Live in order to get you off of Facebook Live and get you back onto traditional television. They want you to stay, well, and so does Facebook, right on that fan page. So I'm curious to know how all of that is going to be measured. And if, like a regular show, look, we're not getting as many engagements, we're not getting likes, we're not getting shares, thus we're going to cancel one of these shows. Is that what it's going to be like?
See, but that's what they have to understand, that this is completely different from linear television. The metrics have to be different. You may have 100 people watching a show, and that's good for live streaming. That's what they have to realize. But you may have thousands. You have to realize that the numbers are a lot smaller in a live streamed audience than they are on traditional television. That's number one. You have to realize that there is a lot more content now, which is number two. Number three, discoverability has not reached its peak. So it's still really difficult to discover streams on Facebook Live unless you use the map. But most people don't even know the map exists.
That's
most
true.
people don't even know you can do Facebook Live still. So the same thing with discoverability on Periscope, discoverability on or any of these live streaming apps. It's going to need, in order for these ratings to work, there's going to need to be some sort of centralized system of discoverability so people know that these things exist, and then you actually have a true representation of who could be watching these things, and if they're not. It's right now you're looking at ratings based on people that don't even know these things exist. So they've got to look at metrics differently.
Here's something else that just popped into my head too in reference to this, as far as creating this content specifically for Facebook and via Facebook Live. Somewhere in there, they're going to figure out a way to monetize that and to put ads in it.
Oh, absolutely.
So on one end, as much as we'd like to think they're doing this so that they can, just engage with audiences in new ways, yeah, that might be on the list of things as to why we're doing it. But I would dare say at the top of that list, this is about creating content that they can figure out a way to monetize so that it doesn't appear to be an ad.
Well, hell yeah, it's not to be nice. Then look, these people aren't putting all this content to be, oh, we love people so much, let's be nice. But no, this is for the first step in monetizing mobile, in monetizing all of the, live streaming. It's the first step. People just have not figured out how to do it in ways that advertise, because we're still, again, with the metrics, once there's a centralized system of discovery, once that happens and people are able to find and watch these shows, then the ratings will have more meaning, and then advertisers will want, okay, I'll come in. But you still got to realize it's different from the TV game, ladies and gentlemen. And as we're saying this, may I just say hello to Erin Jackson Earls from LA, your stomping ground, Alice.
Hi.
She is She has this fantastic place called Play It Loud. It's like where you could do play like Xbox and stuff, and it's birthday parties and stuff for kids. It's awesome. So
Wow.
I just wanted to say hey to Erin Jackson Earls. Thank you for joining. Yay!
Yes, welcome, welcome. So it appears you're relatively new. So for those of you that are coming to this spanking brand new, let me put things on pause a minute. Welcome to the social media scene. I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sure Social, which is my social media marketing training and consulting business. And my illustrious co-host here, her name is, I was trying to do the Vanna Black, but it didn't come out quite right. My illustrious co-host is Chitachi Egwu, and I will allow her to introduce herself because she does it better than I do. Go ahead.
Thank you. Once again, my name is Chitachi Egwu. I am a media professor, a media maker, a filmmaker. How about I just love all things media? And I'm honestly really, really happy and stoked and psyched and excited to be doing the social media scene with Alice.
Yay.
Yay!
Yes, because our backgrounds are so similar. It's funny that, yeah.
There's purpose in everything. I'll
Ain't
just
it
say
though?
that. Yes.
And somebody said, look at God. Look at God.
Look at God. Won't he do it though?
Won't he do it? Okay.
Won't he do it?
And we're back.
Exactly. Church.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of kids, we said something just about kids not too long ago. Did we not?
We did.
Yes,
You
see.
actually have two awesome stories about. It's not often that we focus on kids and these platforms, but
No.
there are a couple of things that are coming down the pipeline.
Okay. So, if we got some parents, or do we have some parents? Anybody got kids? Listen
Aaron
up.
has kids. I know that.
Listen up. Parents, move a little closer to the computer or your mobile phone. Turn up the volume. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you got small kids, they're already, iPad friendly or your mobile phone friendly, where you allow them to watch certain content, certain stream content. Okay, so that's one element, or play games. So the two things that I'm about to announce are tied to that. The first being Disney. Everybody knows Disney. Everybody loves Disney. Disney is creating a messaging app for the babies, for the kids. Now, for me, this is interesting because on one end, within this app, and I do believe it's called the Disney Mix. Yeah, Disney Mix. The Disney Mix. The Disney Mix. It's a chat application, but it also will have a gaming element within it. So, my first concern, because I don't have kids, but I have been assigned to be a godmother. Jawa. But anyway.
There goes that person's salvation. Anyway, keep going.
I am the last. It's just like, well, if everybody else is dead, call Auntie Alice. Okay. So, with the Disney Mix, you get the chat and you get the gaming. That sounds like fun. Okay. Now, how old? The next question is, how old do you need to be? And here's the thing that, you and I were talking about yesterday. They're saying that this is a 4+. So I don't have kids to be able to really to gauge if 4 is a little too young, because my fear in this is, how do you keep the people who are not out there who gonna mess with your kids? How do you keep them away from this app? And because the app is targeted to tweens, a 4-year-old is not a tween. 4-year-olds and tweens, they don't have nothing generally to do with each other. So I'm trying to figure
can
out.
barely read. I don't understand why a messaging app would be.
I don't know
appealing.
why. Maybe if it said maybe 6+ or 7, maybe between 10 and 12, that would make more sense to me. But at this point,
But are those kids you watching Disney?
at 4, yes, but at
No. At 4,
tweens?
yes, but not a tween.
Well, think about it. Raven Simone, the Miley Cyrus before she turned into The Miley Cyrus were more the twerking one that we are more
That's true.
accustomed.
They were on Disney.
Yeah, they were on Disney, and so I suspect that 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, because you said a tween, you can't be 13 yet, right?
No, it's so you're like 10, 11, or 12 basically if you're a tween.
Okay. So once again, why would they say that this is a 4 plus? It seems to me this would not be 4 plus, but maybe there is a way for parents, because you got to sign up to this thing just like you do with anything else. Maybe there is a way to gauge, to tell the application, which I haven't read anywhere, that what age of your child, and maybe they will cater whatever content to that particular demographic, because this is Disney. So maybe that's how they're going to do it. If you say my child is 6 years old or 4 years old, maybe only certain content will appear on that particular app that is just for 4-year-olds, because a tween does not want to play the same thing a 4-year-old does.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't see tweens chatting with 5-year-olds.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see when it does come out how they do, if there's scaffolding, if how they structure the platform, if they have specific rooms, as we were saying, for specific age groups that with content more. I don't know. It just seems like they're mixing too many different age groups for this.
And then here's the other thing too. Now, according to this article, or to various articles, Disney is very aware there are rules and regulations set in place for businesses trying to get in and gain access to this particular young demographic. So they are going to adhere to those rules and regulations, because if I'm not mistaken, if you're a business, you can't just start advertising to babies like that. It's just not. It's against, what is it? The U.S. Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which restricts how companies operating services directed to children are allowed to collect and use personal information. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. But I'm not worried about that as much as I'd be more worried about, well, how do I keep, the men, women who want to do things with kids, and child molesters. I'm trying not to say child molesters, but damn it, just let me say child molesters off of this particular app, and just seducing these kids into conversations.
The problem is, can you? I don't think that's something that Disney can really police. Unfortunately, that's going to have to be, if this exists, parents are going to have to be very diligent with their children's use of this app. You cannot leave it on the shoulders of any corporation to police what you're supposed to be policing.
Well, here's something else too. Now, knowing how protective Disney is of its brand, they've always been very, very protective of its brand. I would dare say they understand what they're dealing with, and will probably be monitoring that thing a lot better than Twitter and Facebook monitors theirs.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to be a Twitter situation.
It's not going to be a Twitter, that kind of situation. So on one end, we don't want to put fear into you as parents that, this is something you should not use. That's not what we're saying at all. But what we are saying is, this app does exist, or will be in existence pretty soon. It is by Disney. Disney is a very trusted brand. So at the end of the day, try it, see if your kids like it, and just read all the fine print.
Absolutely.
It says here too that if there is some craziness, either bullying or any what they call unsafe or not behavior that doesn't keep it clean, that individual will be banned from the app. So there's a series of community rules. But a community rules, what's that mean? We have community rules on every platform. That doesn't mean people...
No, because then this person could just create another account and reinvent themselves as somebody else. I think what's going to be more effective is to get IP addresses and device identification so that this same device can't be used again. Rarely, yeah, they may try and get another phone, but I don't think it would be that deep for them to do that. So I think that's a more effective way of, I hate the word policing, but of monitoring, I should say.
So again, that is called the Disney Mix. Okay, there was another. What was my other one? What was my other one? Oh, YouTube.
And this is probably the last one we have time for.
It is.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but you know what? Hold on. It's called YouTube Kids. YouTube Kids. I didn't even know YouTube had. Well, I don't have kids, so why would I know this? I don't have kids. But for those of you who do have kids and you are either knowledgeable or maybe allow me to enlighten you, there's an app called YouTube Kids. And within that app, there is content specifically designed for the kids. Now, I don't know what age this thing reaches, but what they're going to do is they're going to combine the content for the YouTube app into YouTube Red. Now, for those of you who don't know what YouTube Red is a subscription service that YouTube now has. You pay, what, $10 a month or $9 or whatever it is, so that you can watch YouTube videos by various producers ad-free. So, once again, if you are that kind of parent and you are using the iPad and you're using certain websites and things of that nature to allow your kid to, just see and watch and enjoy content online, this is definitely something you might want to check out, called YouTube Kids.
YouTube Kids.
All right. So that's it for the day, people. That's all we got, because we got stuff to do, places to go. It's Friday. Woo, woo. The weekend has officially begun.
Thank goodness. It's time. It's time. Because I'm tired of this week, so I'm ready for the weekend.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you for coming. Please do us a favor. Tell people. That still works. Word of mouth still works. Trust me, it does. Word of mouth still works. So tell people about the show. Take this video that is now on Facebook and share it with your friends and your frenemies. I really
don't have to like them.
You don't have to like them. That's why I call them frenemies. Just share it with them. They'll think you're doing something nice. Never mind. So share it with them and come back again next week and let us know what you want us to. If there's a topic you want us to talk about regarding social media, please just put it in the comments below.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd love to hear feedback.
We really do. So be safe, people. Everybody have a great weekend. And
bye.
Bye-bye.